maybe it's a little bit controversial, but I can't not talk about it because it was just a little bit disappointing. So a lot of random clips and tidbits have come out about the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix, and not so much this week. It was more so last week when it was first released. But one of the things that caught my attention out of the many was the clip of Stone Cold Steve Austin talking about how he doesn't believe in CTE and stuff like that. And I was just I know that they say, like don't put too much stock into people like celebrities or your favorite athletes or wrestlers or whatever, so that when they disappoint you it doesn't bother you as much. But it was disappointing to hear that because it's an argument that I've gotten into with people on Twitter recently. I mean, over the past couple months, just when talking about head injuries and stuff like that. And I feel like there's no reason to have that belief anymore when there's so much science and medical history and doctors that have proven to you that this is legitimately real. Like CTE is a real thing and it really does affect people. So that just disappointed me because I just think that you're putting out false information for really no reason other than I don't know if he wants to say it's not real because he hasn't dealt with any symptoms from concussions or he doesn't know anybody who has, if so, or maybe he's in denial. I don't know why he would say that it's not real, but yeah, it's just kind of sad that there are still people in wrestling knowing the seriousness of these injuries, especially injuries to your head, and they're still regurgitating that it's not real. Like that, I just think was like, come on, bro.
It's tough. It's tough to make those statements when there's a lot of scientific evidence that proves otherwise, and especially when an entire professional sports organization, it's their biggest issue that they face. So yeah, you have your comments. I keep it to myself. That's something when
Why?
it comes to. No, I'm saying with that, like I'm not like I. He thinks that that's great. I think completely
Oh,
different. Like
I thought you meant you didn't want to participate because it was too controversial or something. That's what I thought.
No. I'm saying that you can have your take on that and believe it. All right, like I'm not going to change that because you
Yeah,
lived it.
I
However, on the other side of the coin, as someone who has been educated on this, has seen it in various aspects in life, as someone who lived with someone with early on, I almost said early onset. That's not what it's called, but signs of CTE forming and all that. And let's just say the man was fucking tapped. All right.
well, and I don't know
Yeah,
if
you want to hear some war stories about living there? Holy shit! Like
I
I
wonder
lived
if
there.
part of the reason why somebody like him, like Stone Cold, doesn't believe in it is because it's something that cannot be diagnosed until you've passed away. But they haven't, because CTE is so relatively new and diagnosed, they don't have a way to diagnose it without being able to literally cut open your brain. So I don't think that that's necessarily a reason to say it's not real. I think it also is dependent on the context of like how bad his take is, because I know that they talked about the 2007 stuff. So I would be even more disappointed if that is when this was said. Because we know what Vince had to say,
I
but we
gotta
know
watch.
why he's saying it. Stone Cold doesn't have to believe that. You know what I mean? So that was just one of the things that kind of was like, oh man, really? From that whole thing. I agree also. Final Boss says, I wish WWE had taken CTE series back in the 90s and the 80s. We might have had wrestlers still with us. They didn't know about CTE, so
Yeah,
you can give them that pass. However,
I wish we all did.
I still can't understand how head injuries were never taken seriously when you're literally taught since you were a baby that you had to wear a helmet, like when riding your bike because of head injuries. So the
That's a
fact that you
sign.
would allow certain moves to be done that used your head, or like, oh, someone passed out from a chair shot, it's like that didn't click to them that maybe that
Mhm.
wasn't a good idea. That is the reason I can't give them a pass, because it's like, even if you didn't know about CTE or the long-term effects of concussions, concussions aren't good. Head injuries aren't good. So
Mhm.
the ignorance that you can claim only takes you so far, in my opinion. So